Konnichiwa everyone, this is Whycare and welcome back to my channel. It's been quite a time for me to upload a new video due to my busy work and because of the Dota 2 TI tournament. But today I'm back here and will be sharing with you my personal Spiral Abyss combat tips to get full star for 12th floor. So there are 5 main things you need to be aware of, which are position, team comp, also targeting, elemental burst timing, and preserve elemental burst. In these 5 tips, position are the most important thing that you should always be aware of. If you master the technique of positioning, then you will be able to clear Spiral Abyss much faster than other players. And we will talk about all these tips in details in later section. So let's jump right into it. So for my team comp, I will be only using one 5-star character with all 4-star character. So for the first team, you need to pick your highest damage team. And for the second team, I suggest you to pick the team that could deal AoE damage and could do high damage elemental reaction like Melt and Vaporize, and try to get Pyro Elemental Resonance or Cryo Elemental Resonance if you could. As you can see in both of my team, I'm focusing on the damage support instead of using all the safeguard support like Heavy Healer like Barbara, Jean, or Noelle. I'm forming a team that could do high damage based on their elemental reaction. For example, like Bennett and Xinya support a lot of damage through their elemental burst, and at the same time they provide damage reduction and healing. But their healing is not as good as Barbara that could heal all the character on the team. But we don't need that much of healing if you know how to position yourself. And as for the second team, I'm focusing on using the support character that could boost a lot of elemental mastery. Circus and Diona elemental burst could boost your elemental mastery, and Xiangling to provide constant pyro elemental effect to support my Ganyu to do constant melt reaction. So if you are aiming to get a full star, then you are required to sacrifice your safetyness and try to play in a much risky way. So for floor 12, chamber 1, not really require much strategy here, but there are some strategy that you could still apply. So for the first 3 Nobushi, by focusing on one Nobushi and the other 2 will gather eventually. And if you are using single hit elemental burst character, then you need to time your elemental burst. Me, I wait for 3 Nobushi gather together and use my Shogun So Ishin, strike 3 of them together. So you'll be saving a lot of time from that. So next for the assassin, you just need to hit the one in front of you, and the other 2 will come eventually. Same strategy, elemental burst timing. Be patient and hold your elemental burst, and when you see 3 of them are together, use your elemental burst, like so. If you are confident to complete next half within the time limit, then you could preserve your elemental burst for Magu Genki here. As you can see, I'm saving all my elemental burst and try to charge all my elemental burst to full before going to the next stage. But it's not a must, you don't necessarily to do so, because Magu Kengi have 10-second buff time for you to charge up your elemental burst. So for chamber 1 second half, the strategy was very easy. Fully focus on attacking the Joey Sharp, because eventually the Hydro Ball will come to you and you will be able to hit them all at once. And still the same thing, if you could, preserve your elemental burst for chamber 2, if only if the time is allowed. Basically, that's it for chamber 1 second half. So it's Magu Genki time, and you are only required to focus on timing. So as you can see in the beginning, during Magu Genki buff time, I planned all my elemental burst timing and all to maximize the damage output. Start with Xinya because he has long duration of elemental burst for damage support. Then the next order will be Bennett, because it is also a long duration damage enhancement buff that you totally doesn't care about the damage dealt by this elemental burst. So it's better for you to use it during Magu's Genki invulnerable period. Then Sarah as the second last character due to her high damage of her elemental burst in a single hit That's why I'm timing it at the perfect moment, when the moment that the Magu Genki ended his invulnerable form, and Sarah's attack ratio buff will only be given to the last active character on the field. So Sarah should always be the second last character to use before you let your main DPS on the field. Then lastly, my main DPS Shogun to end Magu's Genki first phase. Second tips here, please train yourself to be able to dodge Magu Genki's ultimate attack with dash, because we need to deal a lot of damage and we are not going to play safe, in order to save time and get full star. And then the last tip for Magu Genki is that I realized Magu Genki will usually use the dodge move after performing 1 or 2 actions. This is not 100% occur, but usually would be like. So be patient and only use your elemental burst while Magu Genki is performing any attack animation, so you wouldn't miss your elemental burst hit by doing so. Extra tips for you: if you don't have the confident dodge Magu Genki attack, you could use elemental burst to dodge like so. Next, Chamber 2 second half. The tips here is about positioning. When start, immediately go to the back of the Genshin mage, because usually when Genshin mage blink, she will blink to the back of the direction that you are facing her. By doing so, you could force the Genshin mage to go back and stick to the treasure hoarder, so you could attack them together. So for second team comp, I would suggest you to use character like Venti or Circus or Kazuha that could suck monster together for you to hit them together. It would be much easier if you have monster gatherer character like them. So when Hydro Mage spawn, do the same thing as the thing you do in the beginning. Go behind the mage. Then just pray for your luck and hope them will be gathered together. But unfortunately, this time I'm the unlucky one. So just a reminder that just keep getting behind the mage and eventually she will blink back and stick to the treasure hoarder. Basically, that's it for Chamber 2. Lastly, Chamber 3. So for Chamber 3, there are two main things that you need to focus for the whole chamber: position and the monster to target. So after you start, immediately go to the right or the left. Snake. Instead of focusing on the Rune Hunter, you better focus on the snake, because eventually Rune Hunter will move around and follow you. And then the second mechanical snake will be blinks to the position that you are standing. So be patient and wait for all the monsters to gather together and then use your burst. You could see that I only use my Musou Ishin when the third snake appeared, so I could hit them all at once. So before the next wave spawn, you need to follow my position. When spawn, go to the position and face front from the first monster and be straight, because the monster will have high chance to dodge and blinks behind like so. If you are standing at the wrong position, you would mess up the monster position when they use the blink skill, and it will cause you not able to hit all the monsters together, and that one simple mistake will cost a lot of time you require to kill all of them. So positioning is very important in this chamber, and always target the small monster instead of the large monster. So for second half are basically the same thing. At the beginning, go to the left or the right of the monster and then just start attacking them, and eventually they will stick together. And for the second wave, it is a little bit different. For second wave, you don't need to focus on the small monster. You should focus the Rune Grader instead, because the small monster have no mobility or any dodge skill that would mess up the position of. But there's one thing you need to do, due to the reason that small monster has shield and Rune Grader deal high damage. Due to this reason, you should do a trick is keep walking around in a circle to attack. By doing so, you could dodge plenty of attacks from the Rune Grader and able to hit the shield monster. So for this wave, just keep spinning around a circle, just walk around and attack, don't stay at the same position. you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. For every subscribe that you support, it is a one big step for me to become a Genshin content creator. If you have any opinion and sharing, please always feel free to comment on the comment section below. And you are a Shogun fans like me, then I have a video for you just right here. Your support are always my motivation to do the next video. And I will see you again next time.